from the Beyond Unreasonable Doubt Studios, in association with Feitner Productions, it's Lay Down the Law! With your host, Billy DeClercq.
Hey, that's me.
Yeah, that's right, Billy, that's you. Featuring Jay Singh, Pia Smith, and Griffin Taylor. Only a madman would dare to bring these people together to build a world of law and order, only to tear it apart with laughter. That madman is attorney Billy DeClercq. The result is a podcast blasted to the farthest reaches of the internet. That podcast is this one, and it starts right now.
Welcome to Laying Down the Law, the #1 law and comedy podcast on the internet, or so I've been told by myself. When I'm by myself. If this is your first time listening, welcome. What we do is we take real legal cases, sometimes out of law school textbooks. This one is out of a textbook that we're going to read today. And we take top improv comedy performers and we improvise a fully made up comic scene. I want to introduce my guests today. First, welcome back to the podcast from season 2, a brilliant comic wit, improviser, co-creator of the legal comedy hit show You're on Mute, a Wikipedia savant and licensed realtor, trademark all rights reserved, Mr. Jay Singh.
Aloha.
Next, welcome back, a costumer, comic, improviser, actor, star of Second City show Live Rude Girls, comedy show Law and Disorder, and she can be seen in the films Listen, Water, and Willamay, the Church Lady Vampire Slayer. Welcome the very talented Ms. Pia Smith.
Thank you. Great to be back.
All right. Finally, welcome back to the podcast, an actor, writer, improviser, star of Second City Hollywood and The Groundlings, another member of You're on Mute, a sketch comedy artist, and my brother from another mother. Seriously, some people cannot tell us apart, except when we're standing together because he's about 4 feet taller than I am, Mr. Griffin Taylor.
Hello. Yeah, nice to be here.
Yeah. Well, I'm thrilled to have you all on the show, but first we're going to have a word from our sponsor or sponsors.
Insert advertisement here.
So let's get into it. Let's talk about our case of the week. This week's topic is undue influence in the probate area. So the idea of undue influence is when someone makes a will or a trust, you can sometimes challenge the will or trust saying that the person who made the will was subject of undue influence by someone that is usually a beneficiary. And the classic case is a subsequent spouse and disinherited children. That's the most common case. This case is about the heir to the Johnson & Johnson fortune, Seward Johnson. And he was basically born rich into the Band-Aid fortune.
And he was very litigious, right? That's why he was named Seward.
Yeah. No, I think maybe it's like Seward. Like he was, I don't know if it was Seward or Seward, but he was he liked boats. He liked oceanography. He actually almost crashed his boat when he saw his soon-to-be third wife, while married to his second wife, sunbathing. So we'll get to that.
He did like a Forrest Gump.
Yeah,
Lieutenant Dan.
Yeah.
Lieutenant Dan.
That's pretty much it. That's pretty much it.
Hey, another just non sequitur. Wasn't one of the Johnsons black? Wasn't one of Johnson and Johnson? Am I wrong about that? Doesn't matter. Not that this is about race. Oh my God. But I just.
This is America.
We have to know this.
Wikipedia.
Okay.
Jay's already on it.
It's on it.
I'll be doing some research.
If I type in Johnson and Johnson black, am I going to just get porn? Let's see. Oh God, I have to get a new computer.
Whatever, he's got it bookmarked. There's Johnson Products. George E. Johnson Sr. from Johnson Products is the international cosmetics empire headquartered in Chicago. I don't know. That's not the same, but it's
Not
another
Johnson, a different Johnson. Okay.
different Johnson.
Okay. I think
Yeah.
that's what I'm thinking about. Okay.
Okay. Well,
All right,
my-
And Ultra Sheen and Afro Sheen.
Yes, that's what
Yeah.
I was thinking about.
No,
The
you're
Afro
thinking- yeah.
Sheen.
the Afro.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So
No relation to Charlie, right?
no relation to Charlie Sheen. None.
Oh, wow. Nice.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. That's a
Most
big.
people are related to Charlie Sheen in some way.
That's true. So,
Totally.
Yeah, Johnson and Johnson, they were brothers, and they had invented an adhesive tape that turned into Band-Aids, and that turned into a multi-million-dollar fortune, which proceeded to ruin their family for generations. So Seward was the son of one of the Johnsons, and was born into money, was wealthy his whole life, was married 3 times. He had 4 children from his first marriage and 2 children from his second marriage. In his 70s, I believe he's 74, 76 years old, a young Polish emigre named Basia came to the United States with $100 in her pocket and an art history degree. 10 months later, she found herself being hired by Seward Johnson's then wife as a cook. She was such a terrible cook that she got demoted to chambermaid.
Wait, what year is this? Chambermaid.
The year that was in the 70s.
Wow.
Whoa,
Yeah.
people had chambermaids in the 70s.
Well, I don't think they were too clear on what her title was exactly, but she became sort of a personal attendant
A
at the
PA.
yeah, the equivalent of a PA for wealthy. These people that are wealthy at this level, I mean, it's a different life. Yada yada yada. One thing leads to another, and Seward puts her up in an apartment in New York and fills it with art. And one occasion, he brought his son Seward Jr. by to show him this apartment where he kept Basia. Eventually, he got a divorce, settled with his second wife for $20 million, and a week later married Basia. None of the children were invited. None of his 6 children were invited to the marriage. This legal battle starts in the 80s, when after he dies, he completely disinherits all 6 of his children and leaves everything to Basia, about $500 million.
Do we know why they never had children?
Why Basia and Seward never had children?
Yeah.
I think they were too busy scuba diving and traveling internationally buying art.
Okay. So we're okay.
I don't know. You know, he was 70 something. She was 34.
Oh,
Yeah, younger than most of his children.
you go, girl.
Yeah, in
I'm
fact-
sorry.
I'll show you guys because this is a visual medium, but that's a picture of Seward and Basia on vacation in the Bahamas.
Okay, pull
I feel
back
like-
a little bit.
I know, I feel like James Joyce.
Okay.
That's
I
okay. The
can't-
podcast listeners can't hear either.
I'll look it up myself. I
Yeah,
want to
Deep
see.
ref, Griffin.
yeah. Here, I'll try again. Can you see?
Blurry ref.
Uh,
Oh, she's topless.
no, she's
Oh, is
wearing
she?
it. She's not.
It looks topless from this resolution. It looks like she's topless.
It's not much of a bikini, but it's a bikini.
And listeners don't see this, but Billy he fogged out all of his backgrounds. Who knows what kind of pictures he has up in the background? Every time someone fogs their bathroom or their background, you can't help but just.
Oh yeah, you want to see
Who
all
knows
of
what's
my?
going on?
You're gonna see all the pictures of my wife and kid.
Yeah,
And-
sure.
and
It's like when people
chambermaid.
put tape over their self-viewing camera on their laptop. What are they afraid of?
Wait a second. Have you
What are
been
you trying
looking?
to hide?
Can you see that?
It's blurred out. It's your camera's automatically censoring whatever you're looking at.
Oh, the camera that's built into my laptop also has tape over it. So
Okay.
Oh, really?
yeah. And then when I'm not on Zoom, I turn my camera around. I saw the Edward Snowden movie. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I have things that the Russians would be interested in knowing.
I'm
Names
in
of your
the
channel.
They're very interested in all my, I have no idea, my comedy. Actually, we do, laying down the law does perform very well in the Ukraine. It's one of the higher rated comedy podcasts because
Are you being serious?
No, I am serious. It's one of the higher. It's the number one performing country in the world of laying down the law. It's like,
oh my God, we should be speaking directly to them.
Well, we are. It was actually your performance, Pia, that's largely responsible for that.
Stop it.
Yeah, no, the reenactment of the call with President Zelensky from season 1.
Oh my God, my
laying
head
down
is
the law.
swelling. It's not even going
Yes.
to fit in this frame.
No, I mean they're genuine fans that are like, Pia is back. She is back on the show.
Oh my God, we got to go
Bus
and
is
do a
going.
live tour.
Exactly, the live laying down the law tour of the Ukraine.
Ukraine.
You right?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Yep.
All right.
So
Ready.
Basia she was an art history major from Poland. She came to the United States at age of 34 with $100 in her pocket. 10 months later, was hired by Seward Johnson's wife. Then shortly thereafter became Seward Johnson's third wife. And they proceeded for the next 12 years to travel the world together, scuba dive, buy art, do the things that wealthy people do. Seward Johnson had basically a personal lawyer from a top law firm in New York, and he was assigned a young associate by the name of Nina Zagat. Nina Zagat is probably better known for her work with her husband, writing the Zagat dining guides, which they had started when they were.
Hey?
Yeah. They started that when they were in Paris as law students, and they started collecting reviews, and then they were New York lawyers, and they were, would eat out, and then they would collect these commentary, and it turned into this side business that they were doing. So Nina Zagat was basically the personal go-to lawyer for Seward. She would write his checks for him, kind of manage his accounts. If they were going to buy art, she would negotiate the art price, like basically a consigliere to him, and would win around the world. She was kind of mysterious in the law firm, in this group that was focused on these ultra high net worth people. And they would just basically get assigned to somebody, and it was very discreet because she was much closer in age to Basia and went everywhere with them, I guess. They actually became kind of friends. So in the litigation, the issue of how close of friends they were became kind of a contentious issue. So Nina got passed over for partner after 8 or 10 years at the law firm. And I believe she had been Seward Johnson's lawyer before Basia even came into the picture, but she had a couple of kids at home. She had another interest. She's writing this dining guide, and basically wasn't made partner at her law firm. So Seward Johnson, 6 months later, changed his will, and he changed his will all the time. He was, that's what wealthy people do. The tax law changed, I'm going to change my will again. So one of the ways he changed his will was he had 3 trustees on his will, or 3 executors, and under New York law, you can do it by a percentage instead of by a fee. And so he set the New York statute percentage, which was 2%, meaning that the 3 executors, Nina Zagat, his son Seward Jr., and Basia, each got $6 million executor fees after he died. So that's that was a huge reward for somebody who was, yeah. So that was an issue in the litigation. The other issue was that he had completely disinherited all 6 of his children. So this,
didn't someone else do this? Didn't Warren Buffett do this? Or Warren Buffett limited, like, all his kids are getting pretty much like 6 figures at most. And he said they can earn their way. And then he's giving the rest to charity or something, isn't it?
Yeah. He's giving it to I believe the Gates Foundation.
Oh, really?
I think so.
Bill Gates?
Yeah.
He needs the money.
Definitely.
Yeah. They're very underfunded, the Gates Foundation.
Yeah.
He's giving to the country of Monaco.
Yeah. Well,
Monaco, whatever. The richest country in the world.
Well, sort of like Warren Buffett, Seward's thinking was he wasn't particularly close with his children, and his children weren't particularly close with him. Possibly because he was more interested
dick?
in
He had just got written out of his will.
my law school textbook refers to him as a Randy septuagenarian, which
Okay.
but yes,
I
That
love
sounds
that.
like a pen name.
Yeah, Randy is such a generic.
Uh-huh. Dude, that's a good
Sincerely.
idea.
yeah.
Just like romance novels.
Right. But that's power when you can be defined as that, as
Yeah.
opposed to what you really are, which is a dick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a Randy septuagenarian.
Yeah, exactly. Well, his kids had been given plenty of money over the years, is his figuring, and they had given him Johnson & Johnson stock to the tune of like $100 million plus in the 80s, which is quite a lot of money. So he figured they already had all this money in trust funds, and some of the kids hadn't been able to live just off of the allowance that stock spun off for them. Like they had invaded the trust funds because they were just like dad. They like to spend money on things. And there's a book written about this that goes into a lot of detail about all the different kids and the different things that they did that were crazy. So he figured, and this had been the case for many of his wills for years. He had taken them out years before he died. But in his last will, it was about 30 days before he died he had cancer, and he had updated the will to also remove a gift to a nonprofit that he started in Florida that was dedicated to oceanography. So he had money in the will for this nonprofit foundation. He took that out, gave the rest to Basia. And then they had different gifts to a bunch of servants, $10,000 to all these different servants that Basia had hired over the years.
Wait, how often was he editing his will?
Frequently. I mean, basically the way the stories, basically every time the law would change, or he would get mad at somebody and he'd update his will, or it was kind of that was one of his, other than boating and scuba diving and buying expensive art and philandering, updating his will was kind of like the next thing on the list.
Philandering is very close to philanthropy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It keeps on giving.
Fine line between the two.
Yeah.
I like the idea of him using updating his will, like him just having a Google Doc that he edits all the time. Just like every small stupid little infraction.
Right.
Opening up the Google Doc.
Yeah. I'm updating my will. Exactly.
Like
Yeah.
every time he has a conversation with his kids, he's like, "Hey, just so you know, I've got the Google Doc opened. So how was your day, Francis?" Like, just
Yeah.
I'm just sad you didn't live long enough to find out about Wikipedia.
Mm-hmm.
Be editing that all day.
That would have probably kept him in his second marriage, because it's quite consuming to update Wikipedia. keep him really busy. In his last few months, it became clear he was terminal, and the kids came back to visit him a lot in the last 5 months before he died. And he didn't put them back in. After he died, the kids filed a lawsuit in probate court in New York, claiming that he had been subjected to undue influence at the hands of Basia and Nina Zagat, that they had basically persuaded this enfeebled old man to change his will on his deathbed when he was too weak and was being misguided. And it was a very splashy trial. It was in the newspapers. It was the talk of the New York legal community. There were 30,000 pages of depositions. The trial lasted 6 months. There's some belief that the judge was actually kind of hinting that she wanted a bribe. She kept making rulings in favor of the kids and against Basia. Basia was basically portrayed as this holy terror, screaming psychopath. Like everything, like they would tell, the kids would say these stories about how she was terrorizing their father and would like scream at him and make him do things, and like called him stupid, and like they portrayed her as this like insane controlling woman. Maybe she was, I don't know. And that basically she and Nina Zagat had conspired and colluded to enrich themselves at the expense of the kids. Here's the thing. Under New York law, if the last will had been set aside, then the prior will would have gone into effect. And the only real difference, as far as the kids were concerned, between the last will and the prior will was that the nonprofit would have gotten like $20 million more. And so the nonprofit was also represented by a big New York law firm, and they were kind of hoping to get it set aside too. But it wouldn't have done them any good. Yeah.
Right. So even if the prior will was
reinstated,
was the will that went into effect, the kids still wouldn't have gotten anything.
Right. They would have had to go back, I think, like 5 or 6 years or something like that in wills. And all of the prior wills, it was clear that he wasn't sick. He wasn't like, he was just,
right.
He was just a dick. So
can I just say, not to critique your profession, Billy, but
no, please do.
The legal field seems like such a waste of paper.
Oh, yes.
Like all these lawsuits and all these, like everyone needs copies of the same shit. And it's just like no one reads these huge contracts that are hundreds of pages, thousands maybe.
I know.
Just think of like the people printing off these things and like just how many trees, how much of the rainforest in the Amazon is destroyed by legal cases every year by some guy changing his will to spite his kids.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Is a lot of it digital now as opposed to like physical paper?
It is a lot. It's moving to be more digital. I maintain a paperless office to the extent I can. Because I don't like dealing with paper, because I don't read it either, to be very frank.
Well, anyone who's looking for legal services, you heard it here first.
Yep. Even the stuff I write, I'm just like with my eyes closed, I'm just typing. It's like, the 10,000 monkeys on a typewriter. I'm like, I'm billing by the hour. Who cares? It takes me 10,000 hours. It's fine.
Okay. So the first law firm to announce they're carbon neutral is.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. So it was pretty interesting. 6-month trial. A lot of testimony about how the kids were jerks, how Basia was a jerk, how Nina Zagat was preying on this opportunity, that she was somehow manipulating things, and she had actually testified that she advised Seward. He said, he asked her, what can I do to make sure that there's no litigation after I die? And she said, oh, this is airtight. It's not going to be a problem. He, which is kind of like naive on her part, but yeah, they thought because it was, they got a doctor's note at the time that he was of sound mind. But it was kind of a perfunctory thing. And he wanted to write a letter basically explaining why he was doing it. And she said she testified that she had told him that would just lead to more litigation. Or he said that he thought it would just lead to more litigation if he wrote a letter about his intentions. So that is essentially the litigation. Anyone want to guess what happened? It did go to the jury. Guesses on how it played out?
Very respectful.
Pia's raising her hand. Yeah.
Basia got the money, and she married like a 24-year-old servant, and they went back to wherever she was from, the Balkans.
Yeah. You're all wrong. It settled while the jury had the case. After they gave the case to the jury, Basia essentially caved in and gave the kids 12% of so it's like multi-million-dollars. She also paid the legal fees for both sides to the tune of about $20 million.
Wow.
And the gifts to Nina Zagat and ended up standing. So Nina Zagat ended up doing that, and she got all the art and all the houses and everything, and ended up continuing to build this palatial mansion that is now a PGA golf course in New York, I think. And that's the end of the story. And Nina Zagat went on to do restaurant guides. I don't think she went back to the practice of law after getting $6 million.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's fine.
All this can be, if you're interested, there's a book called Undue Influence, The Epic Battle for Johnson & Johnson's Fortune. It's inaccurate because it wasn't for Johnson & Johnson's fortune. It was only for Johnson's fortune. It's a really, really, but by
Aren't you
David.
not supposed to judge a book by its cover?
So it should be The Epic Battle for one half of Johnson's fortune. 1993 by David Margolick.
Wow. So I guess things looked bad for her, which is why she settled, or did she settle because she actually had a heart and wanted the kids to have the money? Do we know?
I think she settled because things were looking pretty bad. The book kind of plays it or describes it that the lawyers for the kids were exceptionally aggressive. They had a lot of questionable tactics. They portrayed her as as really a horrible person. And then they got all these rulings from the judge that were she lost every ruling in front of the judge. Like the judge was very biased. They thought it was the take on it, very biased against Basia. And interestingly, the way the probate court system in the state of New York worked at the time was that if you're a judge, and it was called in the court of surrogates, the way you'd get challenged is something would go up to the Court of Appeal, but none of the Court of Appeal judges would really challenge somebody below, because the way you made money if you were on the Court of Appeal was you got hired as a private referee or a guardian or, an administrator of someone's estate, and you collect fees that way. And so you didn't want to piss off any of the judges below by ruling against them, because then you'd be hurting your own chances to get appointed for one of these plum gigs for these wealthy, probate cases. So it was pretty good sign that the judge was very biased against Basia, and she was probably going to lose. And so that's why she cut a deal that was so bad for her. And the other thing too that's interesting about the case, another interesting aspect, is that during his lifetime, Seward Johnson was heavily guided to make sure that Florida was his domicile, for a whole bunch of reasons relating to tax and estate taxes and stuff. He didn't want his estate to be taxed, as most rich people don't. And so Florida had very friendly laws. So he made sure that he had a house in Florida, that he voted in Florida, that he lived in Florida enough of the time. But then when they went to probate his will, they probated it in New York, which is the reason why Nina Zagat, the executor, was able to get the New York statutory probate fee of close to $6 million. So that is kind of questionable in itself too. It might have been a different outcome if they had probated the will in Florida.
Wait, so it's called a fee, but it's really their inheritance, or it's like what they get in the will?
So an executor, administrator of an estate, it's the job of dividing up the assets after someone dies, right? And so that job comes with a fee in any kind of probate or trustee case. And the fees can be quite large. If someone is going to be they can be reasonable, they can be large. Sometimes they're set by the court. Sometimes they're set by the terms of the estate plan, but that's actually a job that you have to do. You have to figure out, who gets checks, what bills need to get paid off, what needs to happen to property that the person owned, who's going to get the boat. Are they going to sell it? Who's going to get the house in New York? Who's going to get the house in Florida? How do you determine the value? All that work isn't done by the court. That's done by the trustee or the administrator. And that person gets paid a fee. And it can be set in a variety of different ways. In this case, New York had a statute that said there can be a statutory fee that's a percentage of the value of the estate, which is much more money than it would have been paid. And Nina Zagat was paid fees while she was working for Seward during his life. So it wasn't like it was working for free and then you get this bonus at the end or something, afterwards. It was, but but that basically the testimony, the evidence was that he felt like she had been not treated right by her law firm, and that she ought to get something from his estate. So he wanted her to have the money. So who knows if that was true or self-serving or, but that was what the evidence was.
Do you know, just off the top of your head, what percentage of people have wills?
I don't know the percentage, but it's not enough because 100% of everybody dies.
Uh-huh.
Wait, what?
So-
Back up.
Yeah, 100% of everybody dies. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it's true.
That's
Yeah, I
not
don't think
true.
you have your
You're
facts
not a
straight on
doctor.
that.
It's
I don't think
true.
you're qualified to
It's
make
true.
that statement.
No, it's true. It's true. I've extensively researched this on Wikipedia and what was that other one? Sportsnet.com. WebMD.org.
Does everyone die?
Everyone. So I don't know.
Wait, so
It's a low percentage.
what happens when someone doesn't have a will?
Okay. I know so under California law, there are sort of three boxes you can fall into. One is if you have a trust, one is if you have a will, and one is if you are what's called intestate, which means you don't have a will or a trust. So if you die intestate, then it goes to probate court, and probate court will assign an administrator of your estate, and that person will be responsible for disposing of your assets, paying off any debts, and then your assets are divided up according to a statutory scheme that basically says there's a rule. It's called the rules of intestate succession. So it like goes to a spouse first, and then it goes to your own kids first. And there's a table called the table of consanguinity.
I would like you to slowly pronounce the word consanguinity.
You said it perfect.
Did I?
You did. I gave this to my dad in law school because he would always talk about like, who's my cousin once removed, my cousin twice removed. So it's arrows and like family relationships.
Yeah.
Looks like a pyramid scheme.
It is. Yeah.
Family is that.
So you have first it goes to your children and your parents if you don't have a spouse, then your grandchildren and your grandparents and your brothers and sisters. That's the second degree of consanguinity. The third degree of consanguinity is your aunts and uncles, your nieces and nephews, and your great grandchildren. So it goes up and down and across.
Is there such thing as like a spite will? Like if you have a lot of debt, or like if you have like a lot of Beanie Babies or something, and you just want to like, you have a lot of figurines and you know someone hated them and you always resented them for their hatred of your figurines.
People do all kinds of crazy stuff in their will. And some, a lot of times they cause a lot of pain to the people they leave behind, like the people that they leave out of their will for not really a clear reason. Or
story there, Pia.
Why did you give all your money to this sibling and not that sibling? And that's what that's really what causes a lot of these undue influences or will challenges, because someone's like, why did I get cut out? I don't understand. And
also greed.
Yeah. Well, and so practitioners, this is a problem you deal with because the person who made the decision isn't around to say why. Right. So Ouija board. Exactly.
Are Ouija boards, they're legally, they hold water?
Yeah, they do. Absolutely.
Can you cross-examine someone?
Here's a question. Do they sometimes like leave a note in the will? Like, and the reason you're not in this shit, Jeremy, is because on June 12th, is there a lot of that?
Sometimes there is that sort of thing. Sometimes what people will do is they will do a video.
Oh my God.
Like a video explanation of their will, like good, bad, or indifferent.
Right.
But like, I've left you this, I've left you that. And part of that is for the evidence that it's not undue influence, that the person is of sound mind, that they are, are in possession of their faculties when they're making the decision. So it's partly evidentiary, and partly I think, there's a human impulse. If you feel like if you've been wronged, then you're more likely to run to court. But if you understand the reason why something happened, then, as a practical matter, maybe you're not.
And if there's video proof of the person saying,
Mhm.
no, I'm not wrong.
This
you
is-
don't
yeah.
get the money.
Yeah,
then-
I meant it.
Yeah.
I meant it.
Billy,
it
you can help me
wasn't a
make
mistake.
a TikTok, Will.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. How
What's
long?
legally binding?
Yeah. How
Like
long?
voguing while explaining how I am of sound mind.
Exactly.
And all these comments coming up on the side.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
This reminds me more than anything of Anna Nicole Smith.
It is similar to that. Well, there were two layers to that, right? Because
Such a sweet love story.
Yeah.
the old guy.
I'm
was
thinking of the love
married,
story, definitely.
but then she died like not long after he did,
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
and so
Trim spa, baby. I blame Trim spa.
yeah, I think so. Her will
You got a good memory.
contest went to the United States Supreme Court. Did you know that?
Holy
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah. Anna Nicole Smith's, I don't remember why, but it went all the way to the Supreme Court.
And there was a lawyer named Howard Stern on that case, wasn't there?
Right.
I think you're right.
Who was married
Yeah.
to her.
Yeah.
Baba Booey.
Because I remember that they made him make a video, like her and like somebody, some dude, some other person who was, jocking for the money. But do you remember that? Like they made a video of him saying, I am of sound mind and I want, but he looked crazy in the video. Like it was,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
he was
exactly.
not of sound mind.
Yeah. The video doesn't always work. Well, the other thing that works, and that might have worked in the Stewart Johnson case, to be very honest, is a no contest clause. And so a no contest clause is a lawyer workaround to prevent people from filing a will contest. So what you do is you put in the will a clause that says, I'm giving you this much money, but if you challenge this will,
You get nothing.
you get nothing.
Right.
Wow.
So it raises
Cool.
the stakes. So it makes it like a different kind of a bet if you're thinking about challenging the will, because it's like, if you're not getting anything, you've got nothing to lose by filing the will contest. If you've got something to lose, because if you let's say there's $1 million in there for you, if each of the kids had $1 million gift, that if there was a no contest clause, they might not have challenged the will for the $100 million, figuring, well, I don't want to put $1 million on the line to potentially lose that.
I am so glad I was born a pauper.
Well, it's
When I think of all of this nonsense I could be going through, I just, it's
I-
easier.
yeah, I actually, when I was preparing, I can't find it right now, but there was a quote. One of the grandchildren of Stewart Johnson was quoted as saying, if we hadn't have had so much money, maybe we would have been a better family.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh,
Burn.
wow. Tugs at your heartstrings.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to feel bad, but it does feel good. I'm like, well, then I don't need to be rich then. I guess that's where we end up. But I do think it messes people up. I do think that level of money just messes people up.
Yeah.
There's a funny movie called, I saw it a while ago, but I was surprisingly enjoyed it, called Greed with Michael J. Fox. I haven't seen it for a really long time, but it's about all of this stuff. It's about this entire family. Oh, Kirk Douglas plays the old guy who's dying, and his entire family is fighting over his will and stuff like that. And I remember it being a pretty good movie. Anyways, I haven't seen it for a long time, but yeah, look it up, listener. If you want to see it.
Recommendation
Only has-
In Ukraine.
in Ukraine. And
You
if
can
you
relate to this.
and if you can download it from DeClercqMovieCommentary.com and just watch the ad first. That would be great. Just behind the paywall, because we need to make a few bucks off everything.
Great. So I was going to say the intestate portion of the conversation actually comes up in real estate quite a bit.
Mhm.
Having a probate sale is not the ideal situation of selling a home. It can add more complications. And as an agent, I'm not a lawyer. but I'm sure you can speak to this. Having a will and testament in place can actually make things easier, especially when it comes to the disbursement of your property and your effects after death.
Right. I mean, usually if it's a probate court sale, you have to get, there's court approval in California, you have to get court approval for the sale. And it ends up being kind of an auction procedure, which doesn't really get you highest and best value on the property. Typically, there are investors who specialize in probate sales because they can usually get them well below what the value is, which doesn't maximize the amount that goes to the heirs. So if you own real property, you want to have a trust in effect, because then the trustee can orderly dispose of the property. The trustee's got a responsibility to actually get reasonable appraisals and get best value for it, and can put it on the market for an appropriate length of time, decide how long you're going to continue to carry the mortgage before you sell it, or if you're going to rent it out for a time or whatever. They can make all those decisions. But if it's in probate court, nobody's going to be paying the mortgage. That's just coming. It's kind of going to be upside down, so there's a ticking clock.
Right.
And usually you're behind the eight ball by the time someone who's grieving is trying to also sell property. It's like, it's not an ideal situation. So wills have to be probated in court. A trust does not. And so that's the advantage of a trust, in that you can kind of set out the rules and then it's managed out of court by a trustee. It's supervised by the probate court, in a sense. So if there is a trust contest or a trust litigation, that happens in court. The will is filed. And then if there's something that's not in the trust that's like been forgotten, like you made your trust in 1994 and you bought a new property in 2003, but you forgot to update your trust, the will can basically say, this is supposed to be added to the trust. You go to court and you get that added to the trust, and you get it basically adjusted after the fact. But
I have a question. What about just like literally like handwritten notes, like, oh my God, I don't feel well. And then you just sit down and write down on a piece of paper, blah, 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 and get it notarized. How legal is that?
That's legal. They're called a holographic will. I don't know why they call it a holographic will, but it's because holographic is a fancy old term for handwritten. But I don't remember the rules. I think you need 2 witnesses for it to be of effect as a will. Theoretically, if you quickly wrote a will and you had it witnessed, I think by 2 people, then that would be a valid will that could get probated. So if I'm going to die soon and I write down my wishes, but I don't get a witness, that would be evidence in court of what my intent was. It might not be a valid will because I might not have complied with all the statutory requirements, having 2 witnesses, having it notarized, dealing with all the property. So it might be incomplete or imperfect, but it shows, if that's the evidence, then there can be questions. There can be multiple wills or competing wills, and which one's the last one.
Yeah.
Or there can be when you add on to a will, it's called a codicil, like an addition or amendment.
It sounds like a weird growth. Like
all the wills and trust language, it's all super old, like Middle English stuff. Yeah, it's all from like old Middle English. Like this is very, very, because people have been dying for like a really long time.
Right. And that doesn't change.
Griffin, I did notice the codicil on your intestate.
Really?
Don't tell me how. I don't want to tell you how I noticed.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah. Yeah. So definitionally, I use the word testator and decedent. Decedent means a person who's died, and testator, it's the same person, but it's a different word talking about the person who is expressing their intent for what they want their property to become. So if it's in testate, it means without having an intent.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I think that's the best thing to do.
Yeah.
What about Richard III, My Kingdom for a Horse? Is that a legally binding oral contract?
Yes. The answer is yes. The issue, though, is it wasn't ever performed because he offered his entire kingdom for a horse, but I think no, he didn't get it. So had he gotten the horse, then somebody like, here's my horse, and I'll take your kingdom. Thank you.
Okay, so his descendants would be able to contest that.
Well, actually, and you know what? I'm going to get really nerdy. If there's any lawyer that's listening to this, such a contract would not comply with the statute of frauds because the kingdom involves property, and a property contract must be in writing to comply with the statute of frauds. That is the dorkiest joke ever. I'm so sorry. Oh my God.
You should teach a Shakespeare class.
Statute of frauds. Yeah. So Richard III's contract offering his kingdom for a horse would not be valid as an oral contract. It would have to be in writing because the kingdom involves property and otherwise, and therefore would not comply with the statute of frauds, which I do believe was in effect in the time King Richard in England at the time. Not that I'm an expert on medieval English common law.
You joke, but realtors are, because California real estate law is mostly derived from medieval English property law.
That's true.
Oh, weird.
That's true. You have all like if you're out there and you're listening to this podcast because you're thinking about becoming a law student, first, don't. Second, study Latin because there's an awful lot of Latin in the law. Or become Catholic because there's an awful lot of Latin in Catholicism, which is then preparation for the
I was going to add another wrinkle to this, and it's weird, serendipitous that like the case was about Johnson & Johnson, because I was listening to, I think it was NPR today, and they talked about how Johnson & Johnson's being sued for their talcum powder that is causing ovarian cancer.
That's been going on for years, right?
Yeah, but they were saying that like there's no end to these lawsuits. It's going to be happening for decades. More and more like I don't know what it's called, but like people, suing Johnson & Johnson are going to come through, and that something like this can like dismember a company, or like even the strongest company. Like Johnson & Johnson is like they said it was like a AAA rated company or something. I forget what the term was. I was working while I was listening to it, so it's only getting pieces. But even something like this could destroy a company and could like bankrupt a company.
Yeah.
So.
Right, and then there's shitty. What are those things we're all getting? The what's the shot?
Vaccinations.
Yeah, don't they have people are getting blood clots and shit? So pardon me for swearing, but I understand that their vaccination is not the highest quality.
Yeah, but you can get a Band-Aid for that. Back to the basics.
Yeah,
but
it's all about selling bandages.
Yeah, we were talking about, we got into on Monday, Griffin, if you'd been there, sorry, we got talking about.
I didn't know it was happening. I didn't get an email or anything. I swear to God.
Oh, man.
I'm off this email chain or something. I did not know it was happening.
Oh, that was deliberate. I'm so sorry. Jeez. I let that slip. No, because I think that part of Johnson Johnson Company responsible for the talcum powder, cancer powder, is in bankruptcy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because when it's that level of liability, you have to go to bankruptcy court to kind of deal with the orderly disposition of claims. Because there's more. The claims are worth more than the company has.
Wow.
But
it's just a section of the company.
I think that's part of the issue. I don't know. I'm not a bankruptcy lawyer. That's super common. I'm also not a wills and trusts lawyer. I could maybe put like a link in the show notes to someone who's like, you know what? After listening to this podcast, I better update my will. Actually, you know what? Call me. I'll take a referral fee.
Aren't you a Shakespearean lawyer?
I am.
Tough racket.
Yeah.
How's the market for Shakespearean lawyers?
Well, it's a risky profession because Shakespeare said the first thing we do is we kill all the lawyers. Is what he said. So,
hospital administrators.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to have security in your
all the time
meetings.
All the time. Luckily, the Shakespearean actors only have fake swords, so it's at most I get splinters in my arm. It's okay.
Oh, if you get a skilled one, this could be more dangerous.
Could be. The Shakespearean law firm.
I don't know if it's too soon to ask this, but are any of us in your will, Billy?
I don't have one.
And is your will called a,
Oh my
a
God.
Billy, not a will?
What?
You
Yeah,
Bill.
don't have one.
I don't have
Can
one.
you call your will a Billy?
I think
That is so fucking funny.
I think I might. I think I
How
will.
can you not have a will? Oh my God.
I
I
just
don't have a will. I have a bill.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a more adult version of a will.
I don't know.
You're all pretentious about it.
I guess
Yeah.
I mean I started working on it twice, and I guess I just decided I'd prefer not to die, so that's what I'm going to do.
That
Let's bang it up.
really doesn't affect whether or not you die, the fact that you don't want to. So I think we should all set a goal here on this Zoom right
Uh-huh.
here on January 7th or whatever it is. Let's
1914.
all,
Of
at
sound
the
mind.
very least, write something down on a piece of paper and have it notarized.
Mm-hmm.
Or wait, did we learn that that's okay? That that's at least sufficient?
That's a start. Or
That's a
you can go
start.
like download one from like nolo.com and fill in the blanks.
Or I'm real quick. I'm going to just be making a video while we're doing this. Just
Oh,
saying.
perfect.
I want all of my Architectural Digest magazines to go to my aunt Angela.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, any other thoughts about undue influence, wills and trusts, or bankruptcy, which I know nothing about?
I do
I thought-
sort of have a question about undue influence. I mean, how do you really prove? I mean, this could go on forever. I don't know how you would even answer this, but even if I am crazy and somebody unduly influences me, I can be unduly influenced if I want. You know what I mean? Like, so how do you prove that?
Yeah, that's a good question. So there's a legal test for undue influence. I don't know it offhand, but it's essentially that the person who's benefiting caused the testator, we now know what a testator is, to do something that didn't reflect what their true intention was, because they weren't of sound mind at the time, or they were somehow controlled or coerced into doing something that they didn't want to do. And how do you, it's the way you prove that, it's extremely difficult, obviously, because the person's not there to say what they wanted. And so you have to look to pieces of evidence as to what they were writing. There's some presumptions involved. If it's going to, like, the situation, if you think of someone who, their will or their trust all along gave everything to their spouse and their kids, and then they get really sick, and then 30 days before they die, everything goes to their caretaker. That's, that's gonna be fishy, right?
And they were bludgeoned to death with a
that's also
with
gonna
a
be
milk bottle.
fishy.
Caretaker's mallet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's got to be some facts and some evidence, and then it becomes, it's a trial. So you have to someone has to be persuaded. In the case of the Johnson will we were talking about, that's a jury trial. So there's 6 jurors that we're going to decide.
Right. Got it.
That's something that confuses me. Why are juries always an even number of people? Like, don't you want a tiebreaker on a jury? Am I naive?
That's a good question. No, that's a good question.
Like 12 jurors, 6 jurors. Don't you want an odd number?
I think not. I think you don't want a tiebreaker, because then it's not really.
I think the idea is that might give too much power to one person.
Yeah.
You have your.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, maybe I'm just naive of how lawsuits work and things, but like if it's 6-5, then it's a certain ruling. I don't know. It's unanimous and stuff, or I'm not sure what all the rules.
I don't know the reason for it. I think it's really a matter of tradition, but so I don't know what the reason. I'm sure there's a lot of interesting law review articles about that question that I haven't ever read. But if you think about the U.S. Senate right now, you have a lot of power in the hands of 1 or 2 people, because it's evenly divided, and one person could be a tiebreaker. So the person that could be the tiebreaker might have undue influence on the decision.
So all the decisions are unanimous with a jury? Everyone has to agree? Or is that just for certain?
No. I'm gonna say something wrong if I say the answer, but not all juries need to be unanimous. No,
Really?
no.
On TV, they do.
On TV they do,
And that's where law happens.
yeah. But no, I don't know that. I probably should know the answer to that, but I don't. So
Wow. This has been very provocative.
pretty interesting.
I learned that everybody dies tonight,
Yeah.
and that's going to take me a while to digest.
This is a pretty eye-opening podcast.
Yeah, every time we do the improv and Griffin has his clock ticking, I'm like, that's just a reminder.
I took the battery out before we started.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. 'Cause it's just like tick, 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 tick.
Mhm. And on the hour it says death.
Are you
Is
dead
Basia
yet?
still alive? Did we know about that?
And she is not. She is not. I think what
It makes
happened?
a very
happened with her?
interesting docuseries.
Her money went to her money went to I think
Her
like
24-year-old lover.
no, like a nephew in Poland or something.
Oh, a nephew. Right.
Yeah.
Who was this?
Basia.
Oh, Basia. Oh.
Yeah.
The chambermaid.
Yeah. The art history major.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. As of October 1998, Basia was worth $1.7 billion.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And the
Holy fuck.
and the Johnson children at the same time were worth about $1.8 billion.
Okay. Yes, everyone won. That's okay.
Yep.
I'd be raw if I was a kid. I'd be a little
Mhm.
raw about that.
That Basia got as much money as you.
Almost twice. Yeah.
Her wiki says that her name is Barbara Basia, but Basia's in quotes.
Yeah, Barbara
I
is
feel
her
like
name.
Barbara should be in quotes.
No, Barbara is her name. Basia was her nickname.
She's Polish and her name is Barbara?
Well, I think the correct pronunciation is Barbara.
Dude, I'm learning so much tonight.
I know.
You can be
Barbara.
Polish and named Barbara.
Oh my
Barbara.
God.
Barbara from Poland.
$1 billion. I mean, can you just imagine?
That's in 1998 money.
Right? I'm just trying to imagine, like, I'm young and I'm like, okay, I think I'm just gonna not even make international. I'm gonna go live in New York, do an internship. Because I did that when I was a young girl. But you know what I mean? And then you just end up, oh shit, I guess I have to take this shitty job being a whatever to that lady. And then you end up just like willy-nilly having an affair with some like 90-year-old dude and ending up.
Oh, he was only in his 70s.
I mean, okay. Okay.
He was only twice her. He was only more than twice her age. I mean,
Which I mean, it makes me more inspired to hang out with people who could possibly put me in that position. I'm not gonna lie.
I wonder, do you know anything about what's his face? I'm blanking on his name. Hugh Hefner. Because he had 4 wives or something, right? I mean, that was that whole TV show. Were they his wives? And then he had kids too?
I don't know.
I don't think I mean, I think he had wives one at a time though. Are you suggesting that he was a polygamist?
Well, he wasn't polygamous.
How dare
Well,
you?
at the end.
Yes,
You
definitely
Hefner.
if he could have been, for sure. But he was broke though, right? He didn't have any real money. Hugh
He had
Hefner?
3 wives and 5 partners at the end.
Okay. So he was married to all those chicks at once?
No, his last marriage was Crystal Harris. And they're this is too much information.
Yeah.
I think they're only married for a year. I don't know why.
But Hugh Hefner, I mean, was he like Did he actually have a fortune, or was that kind of? I was under the
yeah.
impression it was kind of on paper. He didn't really have that much money.
No, I think he had a shit ton of money.
Oh, which
is illegal
you know,
to
hey,
a shit ton of money.
okay, which
Yeah.
sure he has more than than I'm used to. So
Oh, $100 million. Only $100 million.
Come on. Look, the chambermaid had more money than him.
right.
Just goes to show that Band-Aids are the way to go.
Right. Flesh colored band-aids.
Household products. Simple.
Right.
I wonder how much baby powder got used over at that mansion.
Yeah, that baby powder. That's a real shame.
Of all things, too, baby powder. Like, baby powder seems so benign.
I'll never not love the smell of baby powder. Like it always will bring me comfort, even though I know it's now dangerous and lethal, but it just takes me to that place,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think they could probably make other things smell like baby powder.
I would think.
Did I derail this whole podcast because I brought up Hugh Hefner?
Now you feel sorry for him.
That would presume that we had a point or an objective that we were aiming for, which I think if you are a first-time listener, the point of the podcast is we talk about some law stuff and we say some funny stuff, and hopefully you get to wherever you're driving or walking, feeling like maybe I learned something and maybe I learned nothing, and boy, I'm glad that's over.
And hopefully you had a laugh while you
maybe.
I've got a question for everyone. Has anyone seen the documentary Born Rich by Jamie Johnson, also of the Johnson & Johnson family?
Oh.
Very gross.
Wait,
yeah,
I haven't.
Ivanka Trump's in it, right?
Right.
I feel like that was on Netflix like years ago, like 2010 or something.
Okay.
Dude, it's even older. It came out 2003.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all just like miserable rich kids, like waiting to inherit their money.
And like obsessing over like bizarre, like there's a dude, and I'm sure the details wrong, who's like this Italian guy who's like completely like OCD obsessed with cufflinks and like just the randomest things that he collects, and is like he's like kind of a genius. He knows all these details about like suits and cufflinks and things. And you're just like, dude, you should just be editing Wikipedia with your time.
From what fortune was cufflink guy?
I don't know exactly who he is. I haven't seen this document in a long time.
It's all right. It's okay. I'll check it out.
Born Rich, and it's by a Johnson. Maybe this is him trying to win over goodwill before the baby powder lawsuit came to light. But
isn't it by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson?
Yeah. Also, that's a Johnson and Dwayne Johnson, different company.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out whether that documentary is off the Seward Johnson branch of the Johnson & Johnson family tree, but I don't have a table of consanguinity for the Johnson family.
Oh, nice.
It's not blurred behind your shoulder.
Huh?
It's not blurry behind your shoulder.
I unblurred the background, and there's nothing to see here, podcast listeners. My guests are very raucous.
I'm really glad you slipped consanguinity back in there.
It all connects.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's a nice little full circle moment. And I would have forgotten that word, but now I'm going to try to use it tomorrow and get all fancy somewhere.
It's like Pee-wee's Playhouse. I'll get a word.
The word of the day is consanguinity.
Insert advertisement here.
Good morning, boys and girls. and welcome to Suey's Playhouse. Yay!
Yay!
Today we're going to talk about the word of the day. The word of the day is cryptocurrency. Yay!
Yay!
Can you all say cryptocurrency?
Cryptocurrency.
They
I would like to go first in using cryptocurrency in a sentence. Oh dear, I have come to the laundromat without any cryptocurrency.
Yay!
Yay!
I can go second. It's the only way I've heard it used, and it's my dad talking on the phone. Excuse me, call girl. Do you take cryptocurrency? If not, oh well.
Yay!
Yay! I will go third. I wanted to rename the founder. This is hard, of Johnson & Johnson as the cryptocurrency word Johnson, combining his first name with the end of the word currency. Yay!
That was confusing, Terrence, but I liked it.
You're welcome.
My dad also uses the C word a bunch.
Yes, that's what he said before he married the chambermaid.
Wow, Pee-wee's changed a bunch since it's been on HBO.
I feel like it's a grown-up college internship version of the Pee-wee's Playhouse where we learn big words.
Yay!
Well, tune in tomorrow where we'll talk about non-fungible tokens.
Yay! Coming up next, the Real Housewives of Sesame Street. Yay!
Tammy.
What is it, darling?
Tammy. Grover yesterday crashed his Beamer again.
Oh my
Again.
God.
I don't know what I'm going to drive to my daughter's debutante ball.
Seaman, I think that you are going to have to tell your daughter that she has got to get off of her ass and get herself a job. You just got to put it out there. These kids are so spoiled these days.
You're so right. You're so right. Grover, get in here. Grover, get in here. Get in here, Grover.
Grover.
Well, yeah. Oh.
Grover. We've been talking. Tammy and I, and we think you need to get off your ass and get a job. You've been driving your father's car all over town, and you crashed another BMW.
Get a job. I have a job, and it's putting up with your BS.
Grover.
Yeah.
Listen to Auntie Tammy.
We have just been looking at the will over the last week, and we were just getting ready to make a live video that might be evidence of you being written right out of it, unless you get your shit together.
Get your shit together.
Get your shit together, Grover.
I told you. I'm in classes. I'm an art history major. I'm doing my best. It's a degree that can lead to real money once I get it. Once I finish school, I only need maybe 6-7 more years.
Seaman, I think you're going to have to be a little bit more forceful with Grover.
You're right. You're right.
Understand the leverage that we have at this moment.
That's right. I'm prepared to completely disinherit you, Grover. Completely. Unless you finish your art history major in 5 years.
5 years? That's like
5 years.
a class a quarter.
And we're going to cut your monthly budget, your monthly allowance down to $10,000.
See how you do with that, Grover.
Yeah, do with that.
$10,000. Oh my God.
Yeah. You want to talk about starving?
Yeah.
See how you can live on $10,000 a month.
You're spoiled. You're spoiled. You're spoiled. You need to get it in gear. Get it in gear. Get your ass in gear.
How dare you? I hate you. I hate both of you. I don't care. I'm going to go live out on the Sesame Street. I don't care. I'll live in that garbage can.
And I've got all of that on video. Just so you know, Grover. And it's pretty incriminating. Good luck out there in the streets with your $10,000
a month.
You'll never make it. Seaman, that was pretty good. I think we put him in his place.
That was pretty good. That was pretty good. Let's now. What should we tell one of my other kids?
Oh, absolutely.
Which should we tell?
I think it's time to get Roman in here.
Roman, get in here.
Roman, get in here.
Get in here, Roman.
Seaman has something to say to you.
Yeah.
I am tired of you sinking our speedboats. I've just had it. You sunk 3 speedboats last month. Three.
Well, yeah, but I told you, Dad, I've always dreamt of playing a real life game of Battleship, and I thought you believed in my dreams.
Well, can't you have dreams that involve sinking fewer boats?
There's a grid here, Dad. I'm playing along with the grid.
Oh, that's actually kind of a good plan.
You know what?
That is actually kind of
It is kind of a good plan.
That is kind of a good plan.
Yeah, well, I guess it just sunk your battleship.
Yeah, I think you did. I think we should maybe up his monthly allowance.
I'm thinking so.
I think we need
Maybe increase it by about $30,000 a month, and maybe even give him extra to make a documentary.
Why don't we just give him 1 Bitcoin every month?
Oh.
Give him 1 Bitcoin every month and 1 boat.
Oh,
1 Bitcoin and 1 boat.
Roman, we're willing to give you 1 Bitcoin a month if you could tell us the meaning of the word.
Bitcoin. What's the word?
The meaning
Bitcoin?
of the word Bitcoin, Roman.
We have these. I don't know what they are.
Okay, well, it's a name for a specific currency that is based off of blockchain technology, which is itself a ledger of endless calculations that are carried out by.
You're losing me.
It's really it's kind of dumb, and it's destroying the world.
Oh, well, that's better.
That's a good explanation.
It's getting good.
That's really good.
Yeah, speaking your language.
Perfect.
We like you so much better than
so much better than Grover. So much better.
Yeah, he's still living in that trash can.
But he'll be crawling back any day now. We've given him $10,000 a month to live, and he'll never make it. But you are just showing yourself to be the shining star of this family.
And you're going to be able to spend all that Bitcoin. I don't know how, but some way. Or those Bitcoins, some way.
I'm good at that, Mom and Dad. Spending is in my blood. It's consanguineous, if you will.
Oh.
Wow. Very nice use of that word.
I don't know what it means, but it sounds good.
Why don't you tell us what the word means?
Okay.
For more money.
It is a form of blockchain technology, which itself is based off of an endless ledger of calculations that are used to destroy the world.
That's the same thing.
So
you
that
said
that's different
about-
words, same meaning.
He's trying to mix us up.
Yeah, I'm so
And
confused.
that's why I keep winning,
Huh.
right?
I need to have a word with your father.
Yes.
Can you step out for a minute, Roman? We have some things to discuss.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to the harbor.
Don't go far away. Just go into the living room and we'll call you right back when we're done.
Which one? Upstairs or downstairs?
Downstairs. Smarty
Downstairs,
pants.
house one or house
Downstairs,
two?
smarty pants.
Okay, I'll be there.
Well, Seaman,
Yes, Tammy.
I think he's trying to pull a fast one.
I don't understand any of the words he's using.
Well,
very-
he's
I don't-
trying to mix us up because he knows
I
it's
think-
smarter than us.
Yeah, he is. He, you know, that all that expensive schooling and the nautical training and all that. He learned all these fancy words and port, starboard, cryptocurrency. I don't know what any of it means.
I have no idea what he's talking about.
I don't know what he's talking about either, but it sounds great. I don't know what it means.
Now I don't know if I like him better than Grover.
Oh, I
Grover's
definitely.
good.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Let's get Grover back in here. I think we should give him another chance.
Oh, absolutely.
I have an idea. Should we get them both in here and have a word off with them, and whoever comes up with the best description, something we actually understand?
This is, you know, that's how we do what we do every week. We always have these fun family games.
It was getting kind of boring, but
With-
for some reason, I think it'll be entertaining tonight.
Yes. Grover,
Roman,
get off the street, Grover. Get out of your trash can.
I've been looking through the window, yeah? Finally, you guys called me back in. I'm already out of that 10 grand you gave me.
I knew it. I knew you'd never make it.
Cufflinks. Look at these cufflinks.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
are those made out of bottle caps?
They are made out of bottle caps, but they're Italian bottle caps. I bought each
Ooh.
one for $5,000.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Grover,
neat.
he's a smart one.
Wow.
I invested in
Investment.
Italian bottle caps. It's
That's-
not a big deal.
That's
I've kind of
gonna.
been collecting.
Oh, that's gonna
Really
appreciate their
understand the
value.
of things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Hey, Mom, Dad, I just wanted to say I've been thinking about stuff,
Tell us.
and I'm really sorry. You know, I mean, I think I've been reckless with not only your possessions, but also with your hearts. And I want to say that whatever I can do to put myself back in your good graces, I want to do. Regardless of any self-interest, I just feel like you guys could either die at any moment, you know? You guys are old. You're pretty old. And I want to enjoy and make the most out of every minute I have with you.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's
You're
beautiful, Grover.
always my
It's
favorite.
beautiful. I'm just gonna open up this Google Doc right now.
Tearing up.
I'm just gonna open up this Google Doc
Open
right
the
now.
Google
Yeah,
Doc.
do whatever.
Open it right
But
now. Let's
let's-
change everything.
Let's get Roman in here too, so he can
No,
witness
wait,
when we
let's just
update
go
the.
ahead and change the document
the
before
Google
Roman
Doc right
comes in.
now.
I-
Okay.
I want Grover to have everything.
Okay. I'm gonna update
Oh,
it. And
God.
I'm updating it right now.
Everything to him.
Everything to Grover. All the.
Oh,
Grover, you were always my favorite. I never liked Roman. When I was giving birth to him, he was pinching me on the way out.
God.
Something like that to me. You were my favorite. Oh,
Oh, mother. I
And
always had a feeling.
I am hitting print on the
Oh,
Google Doc. That
such
is
a relief.
final. I'm going to print that out and I'm going to sign it right.
And let
Right.
me be your witness.
Oh my
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Right.
Demon.
God.
No,
Right.
honey.
No.
Honey. No, no.
Right.
Oh God.
Oh my God.
Right.
Let's get Roman in here. He knows CPR. Roman, come on.
Yes, Mom?
Roman, no. Dad is done. Give him
That's the-
CPR quickly.
Okay, I got this. I guess first thing you need to do is look at the copy of the will.
No, the will doesn't matter. Save your father's life.
Most important thing to do in a moment like this is look
Save
at the will.
him.
I'm signing it first.
Yeah, okay. We need a pen. Who's got a pen?
CPR. Please save my husband.
Yeah, the P and that stands for pen. I need one.
Here you go, sweetie. Here you go. Here's a pen.
Okay.
Oh,
let's
wait,
see
no,
who-
wait. Save your father.
Wait, hold on. I'm not in this will.
Grover, Bitcoin,
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, right here. Write my name
Battleship.
right here.
What is
Honey.
Bitcoin?
No, please don't die.
Oh,
Please
this is
don't.
horrible. I'm not in the will. This is a real tragedy.
Oh. Oh my God.
Thank you guys so much for showing up. I know it's a tough time right now. Seaman was a good man,
He was.
and I tried a number of cases for him. He was very litigious, and
I resent that.
okay, well,
That's
you have the
okay.
right to resent that. You were his wife of 8 years, and I think that you earned your right to resent his lawyer, his favorite lawyer, I'd say. I was looking over his Google Doc, and he made some last-minute changes. It seems like he, unfortunately, it looks like he perished onto the keyboard. And so in lieu of his signature, it's just a lot of vowels and A's, I's. It seems like his face plant isn't legally binding as a signature.
Well, that's
You really, well, that's what?
impossible. It's a new word.
What's that? It's possible, but the opposite?
Impossible, meaning that's not possible.
Okay, see, that's impossible is not in my vocabulary because I'm a
Okay,
positive.
well, it's one of the new words for 2022. It's just
Okay.
been inducted into the Webster's New World Dictionary. So
Okay, all right, I like that. I'll write that down just in case I need it.
learn it.
I will try. As I was saying, Seaman and I actually had an oral contract. As you know, we fought in Vietnam all those years ago. And at one point, that he rode horseback the entire time. You guys saw the pictures. He lost his horse at one point during the battle, and he said, all of my Bitcoin for a horse. All of my Bitcoin for a horse. And I gave him, not a horse, but I gave him a Ford Jeep. And Ford made a Jeep. They kind of did a cross-branding thing. And that is a legally binding oral contract wherein I am entitled to all of his Bitcoin. As you know, he was pretty ahead of the times. He knew of Bitcoin back in the 60s.
Okay, I'm going to stop you. You're using an unfamiliar term, Bitcoin.
Yes, Bitcoin. Most of his wealth was in Bitcoin. It's not the blockchain thing you're thinking of. It's actually physical coins, little tiny coins, just little bits of coins. He has a whole room, and he has a whole room out in the industrial part of town that he filled with coins, and he would dive into and kind of relish his coins. Did you guys didn't know this about Seaman?
Oh, thank goodness my boys are here. Oh, hello, Roman and Grover. Thank goodness. I feel like this gentleman is a little, well, sounds like some bullshit. He's trying to.
I'm not talking to you, Mom. Remember? Battleship, not in the whale. Go fuck off.
Excuse me, Roman. I think if we manage to get this lying motherfucker out of this whole situation, we might be able to recover some money for you. Because I want you to have everything. All of it. You were always my favorite.
That was always your favorite?
Yes.
Oh, hey, Mom. Sorry I'm late. You called. I got your text. I was outside looking in through the window. What's going on here? You said the lawyer sounds like a lying SOB, and he's an effing D head, and you think that he's filled with BS and he's trying to F over D?
In the A.
And okay. All right. So what's going on? Am I still not getting all the Bitcoin? Or
Oh God, this is so overwhelming. Look, Grover, can you just? I need to have a seat for a minute. I need a drink.
Can I just say, I don't know what's going to happen here, but you guys named me Grover, and I feel like that entitles me to just a little bit more than Roman.
Oh, I'm sorry. I
that's
totally got you confused with your brother. I mean, look, Grover and Roman, can you guys just like talk amongst yourselves for a minute? You know what? Just fight it out. Let's do that. Let's do like back in the day.
Why am I named Roman? Aren't we part Greek?
You know what? Oh my God. You guys are so ungrateful. Roman is like the coolest name in the world, and now that's like an issue.
It's an incorrect adjective. It's very confusing.
I'm gonna step out and have a drink. And oh, who's that I see there? Oh, it's my young lover. Well, hi, Todd.
Hi.
I need some moral support. Thanks
Good
for
to
showing
see you,
up.
Tammy. Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. Where should I put your chair, Tammy?
Right there.
Oh, perfect. Okay. And then I'm just gonna get this massage oil. I'm just gonna warm it up for you, just real quick. And then it looks like you've got a little tension right in this this area here. This is a massage right there. Right there. Just right there. Get that spot. Okay. And then hold on. I just need to pop on the blender real quick and just finish up on your daiquiri. Just real quick. And here you go. And I know. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Tammy. I only had yellow umbrellas. I hope that's okay. It's I know it's not exactly. I know you like green umbrellas in your daiquiris, but this one is yellow, so that's okay. And then I'll just get back to massaging you. And don't mind me, boys. Hi, Roman. Hi, Grover. Good to see you guys.
Hi, Todd.
Yes.
Anyway, boys, I was just thinking of the best way to figure out who gets a percentage based fee as an executor. Am I saying that right?
You're saying that great. Let me just get a little bit lower. You're saying, yeah, just a little. Oh my
goodness, thank you, darling.
Yeah, this lumbar area is very tight, so I'm just gonna kind of just give it just a little extra pressure.
Boys, my favorite two sons, the best sons in the whole world. I'm just thinking the only way that we can decide which one of you is going to get a 0.00009% fee for executing this will would just be to sing the praises of your father just to the mountaintops. Yeah. He was a good man.
But
if you don't mind,
do we need to do this while you have your boyfriend has his hand up you like you're a Muppet?
My
and can you put a shirt on?
Sorry, guys. I just want to interject that Seaman, I met him twice, and I want to share that your mother found a gem. I met him at the Pete's Coffee where I was a barista, and he came in and he said he liked his latte extra foamy. And I have to be honest, my foam game wasn't up at that time. He was so nice about it. And then I misspelled his name, Seaman, and he was so cool about it.
It was Semen.
I know, but he was such a prince about it. Such a prince. I just gave him a new cup. It was fine. So anyway, go on. I know you guys are having your family thing. Sorry, I interrupted.
We got a cup of semen here
to go.
Semen, hot semen here. Semen, is there a semen? There's
a cup of semen here. Being so rude to him. He loved your father.
He was a wonderful. I mean, I only met him the 2 times. Again, but he was such a gentleman.
Indeed, he was
very interested in words he didn't understand, but a gentleman, really. And I just have to go get the pizza poppers out of the oven. I'll be right back.
All right, darling, take your time.
Okay, thank you.
Right down there in the company kitchen.
Yep, I'll be right back.
Real fancy memorial we're having for Dad with pizza rolls. He loves bagel bites.
Oh no!
Listen,
honor him, please.
Honor him. Couldn't we send out for bagel bites? Could you get your your boy toy Todd to go get some bagel bites?
Never saw a man happier than when he heard the phrase, bagel bites for semen. Bagel bites for semen, hot bagel bites. Oh.
He
His
did
dad's
love
so
the bagel
happy.
bites. Mm. Oh, you boys. Thank you for bringing back the memories. Oh.
And pizza poppers. Oh, did I interrupt something?
Oh. You're so wonderful.
Grover, I brought you just a wedge of avocado toast. I know that's your favorite. And Roman, I just happened to pick up while I was at the toy store this just beautiful little model boat that I just thought you'd love. I couldn't help but get it for you. Here you go. And yeah, and I'll just leave the pizza poppers here. And then and then you guys had some dry cleaning. I'm just going to pick up the dry cleaning. I'll catch you later.
Why is there foam all over this boat?
His phone game is way off.
Yeah.
Boys, he is trying. He's trying his best. Now he brought you avocado toast the way that you love, and it's an awesome boat, a toy boat or whatever this thing is. You're so ungrateful.
Well, it's technically a schooner.
I beg your pardon?
Schooner.
Oh,
Even the word makes me sad.
okay. Again, this is a word that I don't know.
Well, it's technically an outgrowth of blockchain technology using synced computers, these endless calculations to help destroy the world.
Okay, so I gave you guys your family time. Sorry, I was just over there on my computer. So you're cool with me and getting your dad's Bitcoin, right? Tammy, actually, I didn't know that you knew Todd. That's weird as hell.
Oh, we don't. I mean, we're not. We just recently. I mean, we don't. It's just. Yeah.
I totally get it. Yeah, Todd. I actually met Todd a couple months ago. We actually were in Cabo last month. Todd's a great guy. He's actually the executor of my will. He's he's just something about him. He's just the friendliest man I've ever met in my entire life, and he has hands of magic. Yeah.
Oh, and hello, attorney. Good to see you, attorney.
Yeah, it's Mike Daniels. You remember me, Mike Daniels, MD.
Right, Mike Daniels. Yeah, well, I just think
we just
Mike
were in Cabo together for 3 weeks.
I know, I remember. It's just that Mike is such an attorney first name and Daniels is such an attorney last name. So I just thought attorney. You know, I have your dry cleaning.
Very good.
Extra starch. I also have Grover's dry cleaning. Nothing for Roman. I'm not sure why, but they were just giving away these Jamba juices. I thought you, and I know you like mango. So I got you.
You know me so well, Todd. You don't know my name, but you know me so well.
So I have a large mango Jamba juice for attorney. It's on the side.
Calls me AA.
I hope you enjoy it. And I'll just be over here just waxing your Lamborghini.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, thank you guys for meeting in my parking lot. I lost the keys of the office. It's a whole thing.
Yeah, I understand. Well, you know Todd so well. I just find that really interesting.
Yeah, I was surprised that you knew Todd because I kind of felt like Todd and I had a.
Like I said, I don't really. It's not. Never know. So.
Okay. Yeah. Same goes for me. Todd and I we've never. Nothing.
Right.
Nothing's been.
No. So.
Consummate. It's not a physical relationship. We're friends. We're close friends. And I recently, maybe this is TMI, but I have terminal cancer. Todd Todd's
God.
kind of came like an angel out of the sky, and has just been such a close friend to me in this trying time. I don't think I have long, but to have someone like Todd by my side at this time in my life is something I couldn't have imagined.
So. Attorney gets all of the inheritance. He's dying of cancer.
Well, not dying, but will be dead of cancer, probably within the year.
Oh my goodness gracious. Roman, we have got to give all of your father's money to attorney.
Hi, guys, am I too late? Hi, I'm lawyer Marty Greenberg, and I have in my hand what I believe to be the original will and testament of Seaman Johnson. I don't know who this man is, but I am his original counsel. And what you have in front of you, I believe, is an unedited Wikipedia article.
His name was actually Dick Seaman Johnson.
Oh, am I at the wrong funeral?
I think.
Excuse me, is that Randy Greenberg?
Well, Randy's my brother. Who are
That's
you?
so much!
Wait, do you work at Starbucks?
Yes.
I'm still waiting on my Americano decaf, 4 shots of vanilla and heavy cream from like 3 months ago.
I have it right here. I've been looking for you all over town.
And it's still hot.
I warmed it in my hands and arms.
Okay, I'm adding you to this will.
Oh,
Hey boys.
that's too much. I insist you do.
Okay, thank you.
Wow, there are so many handsome boys at this funeral. Hey, I'm Shoshana, and I got to know Seaman a couple of weeks ago. He used to come into the gentleman's club where I work. Anyway, I've got this video. I'm in it. But it also features Seaman telling the world how much he loves me and that he wants me to have all of his money. And he was of sound mind at the time. So I'm just going to cue it up here. Ignore the first part, which is me twerking for about 15 minutes. And then Seaman shows up telling the world how much he loves him, some Shoshana. And he wants me to have all of his Bitcoin.
There's a Shoshana. God,
you see what I mean? Totally of sound mind. Where do I find to get my money?
Hi, lawyer Marty Greenberg here again. I think I'm at the right funeral this time. Just piping in here that I don't think a TikTok video is legally binding.
Well, I've got other evidence, if you know what I mean.
Vimeo?
Yes, Vimeo. How did you know?
That is legally binding.
Well, here we go. Let me cue it up here. It's in my files, although I don't know what that word means.
Oh, I do.
Tell me, Marty Greenberg.
It is a system derived from blockchain technology that uses endless computation from a computer.
You're losing me.
It helps destroy the world.
Got it.
This is Seaman here, and I just want to say something about Marty Greenberg. I just have this like one just computer chip. I'm just gonna give him to him, and that has all my Bitcoin. That's for Marty Greenberg. And then over here, I have 3 boats for Shoshana, and I don't want to give anything to my kids. So yeah, That's me, Seaman. What was my last name again? I don't remember. Anyway,
Johnson.
yeah, see, that's right, Seaman Johnson. That's my name. And what's up? Here you go, Marty. Here you go, Shoshana. Yeah, fuck all those other people that are supposedly in my family. And yeah, cool.
As you can see from this YouTube video, this is a legally binding will and testament from Seaman Dick Johnson.
Okay, wait, hold on. I'm sorry. This is attorney. I also have a video of Seaman Dick Johnson, and this video is legally binding, where he leaves me all of his money. Okay, and we're out for a night uptown. You know, boys go a little crazy, and he had a couple, but okay, he told me I was his best friend in the world, and he was going to leave everything to me. This video's he just has dental surgery and his mouth is a little numb, but you can make out what he's saying, and it is legally binding. Okay, let me just find it in my files. Let me see here. I just got the new iPhone, and it's kind of hard to navigate. Let me just
navigate. Go ahead.
Navigate. Yeah, it's like find stuff.
Okay.
Okay. It's almost impossible to find stuff on that, I swear. Okay. Here we go. Oh, here's the video.
Attorney. The money as without attorney.
Okay. Let me just fast forward.
Yeah,
We were
because
doing
I'm
it.
lost. You're losing me.
Okay, hold on. I'm looking at the YouTube comments underneath this video, attorney, and he clearly states in this comment that he is effing high.
No,
and
that's
to
those were,
subscribe to him. What does that mean?
that's my YouTube. By the way, if you guys want to subscribe to my YouTube channel, it is attorney 6969. I do kind of just random videos. I'll do like movie reviews. Sometimes I'll do book reviews. I like audiobooks and stuff. Anyways, that's not the point. I do get weird comments. That's not him commenting on it. That's just, people talking about his voice.
Yeah, but I don't know, attorney. You have like 697 dislikes and only 2 likes. So I don't see that this video is credible in any way.
God, I wish YouTube were hiding the dislikes. Damn it.
Yeah.
Are you telling me that there are commenters of ill repute using the name Seaman Dick Johnson on the internet, and that isn't their legal cognomen? That's Latin.
Oh, fancy words.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Mark Greenberg.
Marty is my other brother.
Oh, oops, Daisy.
Brothers.
Hi everybody.
Daisy's my sister.
Back here. Hi attorney. Hi Marty.
Hey.
Hi Shoshana. Hey, listen, I was just kind of going around just cleaning things up, and I found these 5 or 6 Fabergé eggs, and I just thought each of you might want one. I think they're all real.
No, I just ate. Thank you.
Okay, you'll be fine, Marty. Just put this one. Actually has a zip drive or a thumb drive or something inside of it. It says,
Hey, are you
Bitcoin.
You're Todd, right? You're like the pool boy or something.
"Oh,
like that?
I live to serve."
Hey, yeah, you used a word that I'm not familiar with, Fabergé. Do you want to tell me what that means?
It's a very light skin cream, and it's just amazing at hiding wrinkles. And so I've been using it for years. It right here, just under my eyes, it gets rid of puffiness. And yeah, so I think everybody should really get into it.
Todd, you do not have puffiness on your eyes. Come on, stop it.
Mike, attorney.
Stop.
Sorry, I got too familiar. No, you're so
False
nice.
modest.
You're so nice. Stop it. You're going to make me blush.
Hey, I don't
Cut it
mean to be
I'm
funny,
already blushing.
but I just feel like the vibe between you two is very I don't know.
Consanguineous.
We're cousins.
Okay.
We're cousins.
What does that mean?
We're cousins.
I don't know.
I was gonna say lusty, but I like the sound of your like fancy words.
We're cousins. We've known each other for years.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And in my family, we
Yeah.
believe in compliments. We believe in telling people when they look good, telling them about it. So,
Yeah, we're
yeah.
a compliment family.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah. Did anybody need anything washed off, waxed, cleaned, put away? Anything?
I wouldn't mind a compliment. This has been kind of a hard day.
Please give him compliments.
All right. Well, I'm just going to go around the room and compliment everybody because I think you're all fabulous.
Oh, well
And
then
I'm going to start with you, Shoshana.
You know what?
Oh.
I would love for you to just sort of comment on the twerking that you saw in my video. What you
Okay.
think of that?
I have been studying dance for years, and I have been following all the TikTok twerkers. I have never seen anybody do that ever, ever. And for me, it's no wonder that old guy was crazy about you, because that kind of twerking is the kind of twerking that would make the internet break. Okay. You, Marty, I just need to say that your legal acumen exceeds all accolades that you've previously received. And I see a judgeship in your future. I just know it. I know a lot of judges. A lot of them come into the Starbucks. I'm sorry, Pete's Coffee, where I work. I used to work at Starbucks. Long story. Anyway, a lot of them come in and they've been looking at you. So you, Marty, hang on to that blockchain because you're going to need it.
Don't make him tell the Starbucks story.
No, you don't want to hear it. The Starbucks story.
Okay.
Adorable.
Well, I acknowledge your accolades for my acumen.
You're welcome. Funny story about the Starbucks, since you made me tell it. Early in the years of Starbucks, they wanted to have a cheese sandwich. And the concern was that if they had a cheese sandwich, it would make the place smell like cheese. And so people wouldn't want to stay as long. Howard Schultz came in, funny story. And he was like saying, he's like, why does it smell like cheese in here? And I raised my hand. I was sort of sheepish. And I was like, hey, Howie, it's me, Todd. I wanted to try cheese sandwiches, and just people love it. And then Howie was like, you're fired. Don't ever come in my store again. And I was like, okay, bye.
Yeah. But you did end up, here's the little button at the end of the story. He actually ended up in his will, right?
Oh yeah. We're going. He's building a rocket. I don't know if you guys knew that, but he got kind of jealous with the other 3 billionaires building rockets. So yeah, so we're gonna go in the rocket. He is putting his remains in there. I'm gonna fly up with his remains, cast them into space, and then go back. It's kind of beautiful.
Like, oh my God.
It's kind of beautiful. I kind of sketched the whole thing out for him, and I did the tattoo on his back of what it's gonna look like. So anyway, that's how we.
And I'm sorry. I'm the one that got you to tell the story. I love that story.
And I owe you a compliment.
I know, I don't want to sound needy, but I did.
No, I do.
This all started with me asking for a compliment.
No, I just want to tell you, yeah.
Bounced around the room. Hopefully you're saving the best for the last. Because
Bellamy's good.
Yeah, you're very punctual.
Oh my God, Todd. That is so nice of you.
You've never been late for anything. It's amazing.
I don't want to be funny, so you're using this new word called punctual that I don't know about.
It means tall.
Oh, yes, you are tall.
Yeah. So. Anyway, I'm going to be skating along. I need to go just pick up the puppy for Grover. And Roman, he needed a new propeller for his boat. And Tammy asked me for some kind of lavender scent, which I'm going to go get. So bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye, Todd. Nice to meet you.
You smell like cheese. Did you notice
that? Personally,
he
I would just like to get out of here and start spending my billions. So, attorney, and Marty Greenberg, can we just wrap this up?
Okay, I was enjoying the company, but
I still have a lot more to say. But
okay. You know what? I just, I'm feeling kind of out of place here because I'm, just a dancer after all. And I do have to get back on that pole in the next 45 minutes. So
I have to say that was the first will and testament I ever saw with a twerk in it. And I have to commend you for your flexibility.
Yeah, I've been stretching my whole life. So thank you, Marty.
You're welcome.
Okay. Well, I guess someone will just get in touch with me and get me a check. Is that how this works?
I gotta go.
I should have said this earlier, and I kind of feel like I led everyone along. I'm a little lonely. I'm always looking for company.
Hey, honey.
Seaman actually did not leave a will and testament. He had a Google Doc that he would threaten people with and add to anytime he had a squabble or some petty argument. It was actually, it was nonsense. Seaman was maybe completely insane. If you've read through this document, it's the ramblings of an imbecile. I think he was unwell. I think that he maybe, I don't know, he seemed like he has a very dark past, and a lot of it came through. It's like thousands of pages. I printed it off. It was a big waste of paper. He did not leave a will and testament. And as you guys know, in the state of New York, when someone does not leave a will and testament, a legally binding will and testament, the family members are meant to fight for it. They're meant to fight for the estate, hand-to-hand combat. I know this is a heavy thing to spring on you guys, but you have 24 hours to prepare for a physical battle. Their survivor will be entitled to his entire estate. However you want to pair.
I'm sorry, attorney. Are you like trying to say that my video is superseded by whatever this like family's like fight is gonna like produce? So I don't even understand. I don't understand how that works.
Unfortunately, that's not a legally binding agreement because it's on an Android.
Oh, for God's sake.
Yeah.
He was gonna buy me an iPhone before he died.
That irony.
Oh my God. Oh my God, I cannot believe this is happening. I like Androids better because the actual camera is better than the iPhone.
That's true. It's so true.
Oh.
iPhones, they get so much credit, but it's so hard to find things. I just switched to iPhone.
It's the Android phone that is like total gossamer. Oh, I can't believe this is happening to me. I could see it. I was a billionaire for like a day. It's not fair.
This is hard news, I'm sure, for everybody. But luckily, this fight to the death will be televised. So the survivor will actually be entitled to those funds as well. So
you mean like the ad sales from the
yeah, I do have a little bit of money in this. This is actually my design. I don't know, it kind of came to me in a fever dream where I thought, there's so many people dying without wills. It's crazy how many people don't have wills. Let's make some money off this. So
it's pretty cool. It's like in the Roman times.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, this is the moment you've all been waiting for. The battle to the death for the seaman, Dick Johnson will. In this corner, weighing in at 118 pounds of pure, unadulterated rage, we have his elder and more experienced son, the Grover A-Hole Johnson.
I'm actually at 110. I'd say I'm about 110. I'm tall, but I'm 110.
And in this corner, the very sinewy and muscular second son, Roman, named like a gladiator, Johnson, weighing in at 123 pounds, dripping wet.
You didn't
Wait!
have to leave me outside in the rain, guy.
The
Stop!
gladiator, the fighter, the one with an axe to grind.
I will not allow my sons born of my womb to fight to the death. I give you the last will and testament, the video of Seaman Johnson proclaiming that the will be separated 3 ways.
Ladies and gentlemen, unprecedented. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I got to talk again. I'm just saying.
That's it. That's it. 3 ways. Roman, you get 33%. Grover, you get 33%. And I get the other 33%. And Todd, don't you worry. I'm going to take care of you.
Oh, thank
Are
you.
we good?
I actually would like to give my 33% to Todd as well. Todd, you're a very good listener. I really like you.
Oh, thanks, Grover. I feel like you had so much to say. It was really, really fascinating, and the way that your life took so many interesting twists and turns, and the way you ultimately learned how to deal with being an heir, but then finding meaning in other ways. It's actually really good. I have a friend who's shooting a documentary. I think you might want to be in it. It's really, really good. It's really, really good. His name is Jamie Johnson. He's the great grandson of Seward Johnson. Fascinating story. Anyway, you're amazing, and I so appreciate it. I'll just put this into Bitcoin. It'll be cool.
Do you hear that, honey? You're going to be a star. You're going to be in a movie. You're going to be in the movie.
Oh God, I can't wait. I'm sure everyone else in the documentary will be just as likable as me.
You're going to be fantastic. You're going to shine.
You know what, Todd? I'm so inspired by my brother. And you have magic hands too. So I want you to have my 33%.
Oh, Roman, you shouldn't. For me, the enjoyment is in giving, and you're just so sinewy that as a masseuse, it really feels like a personal challenge. It's a little bit like my Everest, working on your back, getting it to loosen up, and I appreciate the opportunity to help. So thank you. I am going to put all of this into non-fungible tokens, which will be pictures of apes, and we'll just see what happens.
Oh.
Okay.
I knew we could do it. Todd.
Yes, Tammy?
Work out.
Yes, Tammy?
Oh, no, I'm just, wow. You really are quite a politician. And it's the hands.
Thank you.
Let's get out of here.
Oh, just one thing. I just have this gun. Yeah.
Todd.
Oh God.
Todd.
What?
Oh my
Just,
God.
Why do you have a gun?
I mean, everybody's got to have a hobby.
Why do you?
What is your hobby?
Murder.
Oh God. How did we not see this coming?
How did we not see this coming?
Why is there
I don't
foam
know.
all over it?
I don't know, guys. So, it's been nice knowing you.
Is it actually a gun or an fungible non?
It's a non-fungible token gun.
Yeah, that.
I don't know
Actually
what
shot
that
with
word means.
cryptocurrency.
He's pointing an NFT of a gun at us. Just revolving NFT of a gun.
It's actually going to
Is
destroy
this
the
where you're going
earth.
to put all the money in, Todd?
It's going to destroy the earth. It's actually what it's going to do.
Oh.
Well,
No.
I don't know what to say.
I think we've all learned a very valuable lesson here.
Yes, and some new words and concepts.
And the lesson is
Have a will.
have a
Where there's a
will.
will, There's a way.
Where there's a will, there's a way.
Also, can I have my 33% back? I don't know if I like this enough.
Yeah, I want a boat now.
Well, I'm taken care of no matter what. So why don't you boys go ahead and go back to the fighting to the death in the public arena. I want to get your money back from Todd.
Insert advertisement here.
Well, that was fun. That took some twists and turns. All right, so we've been going for a while, so I'm going to keep the quiz short this time. So you're each going to get one question. Each question is worth 100 points. You can get between 0 points and 100 points depending on how correct your answer is. Who would like to go first?
Okay.
Griffin, you want to go first? Okay. Perfect.
Okay, I'll go first.
All right, Griffin, would you rather have a baby come out of your butt or sleep on nails? And why?
One of them I've already experienced. No, I would say sleep on nails, because you didn't say whether or not they're like vertical nails. They could just be a bunch of nails spilled on the floor, you know.
That's a great answer. 100 points.
Okay, yeah.
Perfect.
Wait, these are legal questions, right?
These are absolutely legal questions. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Can I ask a question, Todd?
Yes.
So you said that you've already experienced one. I'm assuming that you have slept on nails before and did not have a baby come out of your butt.
I'm legally not allowed to talk about it, but
Okay, got you.
no, I have had a baby come out of my butt. And I know, yeah. It was like the movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger where he's pregnant and gives birth.
Junior is the name of the movie. Yeah.
Exactly. It was like that, but it was a drama.
I'm surprised Arnold Schwarzenegger didn't get an Oscar nomination for that.
Oh my God.
I'm a man having a baby. He's kind of like stretching. Felt like that was his response to Tom Cruise Born on the 4th of July. Like, oh, you want to go for an Oscar? God. So will I.
It's a dramatic role.
I'm tired of being pigeonholed.
Yeah. There's a Marcello Mastroianni movie that's very similar plot. I forget what it's called. Hold on. Yeah, that's his name. Okay, you guys, I guess it's not very important. I think, well, speaking of, we talked about, A Slightly Pregnant Man. That's what it's called from 1973.
Who knew the premise of Junior was stolen?
Wow, so Griffin's in the lead with 100 points.
Yeah.
Okay. Who wants to go next? The next question's a doozy. Okay, Pia. Would you rather bark every day when you woke up or moo like a cow?
Oh, I would rather moo like a cow. Are we saying
And
every
why?
day when I wake
And
up?
why? Every day when you wake up.
Barking or mooing?
Mhm.
Yeah. I don't know. That mooing is very, it's always like a deep, like you don't hear like a high-pitched moo ever. And I haven't heard enough mooing in my life for it to ever like be annoying, you know, where I've heard more barking than I need to hear for the rest of my life. So mooing is still in my brain associated with sort of a calming, like sort of reaction. I like the sound of mooing. I'm in the mood.
That's 100 points. And this is one of the few that there is a correct answer. There is a correct answer. Barking like a dog is the wrong answer, and it would have been it would have been an instant disqualification from any future game had you answered that.
Wow!
So,
wow!
Well done. The stakes were high.
Bill, what if you're already doing both?
Well, that's perfect. That's exactly right. Okay, Jay, you've got the last shot here. You can either tie or lose in a shameful fashion. So the pressure's
Double or
on.
nothing.
There you go. What fictional character inexplicably terrified you as a child?
Okay, I have a great answer for this. You ready for this? And I'm gonna give you a twist on the question. It was actually a real person I was afraid for, and that was Leonard Maltin from Entertainment Tonight. I'm completely serious about this, and don't ask me. Maybe after years of Viennese psychoanalysis, we can get to the bottom of this. But I swear to you, as a child, I watched Entertainment Tonight with Todd, and I would just be in absolute terror that something would happen to Leonard Maltin. He did not look like someone who could defend himself. I was so frightened for. I was fine, but I'm like, at night I'm like, dude, this guy needs like a security detail or an armored car because he's not gonna last a day.
Wow.
Those soft hands and that cherub face.
Mm-hmm. Well, your answer, while breaking the premise of the question, is nevertheless directly on point for the overall theme. And so I award you full points, 100 points. We have a 3-way tie.
Oh, man.
Yeah, for the first time in history, the 3-way tie in Laying Down the Pretense, the game show that nobody understands, but everybody loves.
Fight to the death.
That's right. You got it.
Fight to the death.
That's right. All right. So before we go, some shameless self-promotion from each of you. I'd like to know what's coming soon from you. Where would people go to learn more about you or find you? Other than stalk you on Instagram, so socials or projects, or what do you want people to check out? So I would call on Pia first.
Okay. My Instagram is Pia Minsky Style. You can check me out on Poshmark, where I have in the last 48 hours received 2 5-star ratings. I'm still tearing it up on Poshmark.
Awesome.
I listed about 4 new pairs of shoes on the Poshmark in the last 48 hours, and I'm going to be listing a whole new line like first thing tomorrow morning. So be there, be square. Let's start a bidding war, and let's keep up my 5-star ratings. I will take care of you on the Poshmark. Yeah.
That's awesome.
See you there.
Thank you, Pia. All right, Griffin, what's coming next from you? Where can people find you?
God, I don't know. I don't update social media that much. I want to update it more. So that's maybe a New Year's resolution.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know if it's worth giving my social media stuff, but
sure.
And
if
also,
you want to know occasionally what's going on with Griffin, you can go to.
Yeah, if you want biannual updates, check out. Yeah, Griffin C. Taylor on Instagram, and my OnlyFans is same Griffin C. Taylor as well. No, and stuff coming up, I don't know. I mean, I feel like it's just the same as last time that I was on this with Jay. Like, it's all, it's theaters. Luckily, we had our show in early December in person, and hopefully there's more of that coming up. So, I mean, I don't have any like physical theater shows coming up, but hopefully soon. When is this going to air? Is this going to air soon, or is it going to?
It all depends on how long post-production takes. Right now, the length can range between 3 weeks and 12 months. So the reference will be extremely timely anyway. Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah. If you're hearing this in 2022, if you hear this in 2022, it means we succeeded.
Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully theaters open up soon and stuff like that. Because, we had a show a month ago, and it was a lot of fun. And it was like, oh, it's so nice to be in front of an audience. And you know, with Omicron and stuff like that, everything seems up in the air again. So I don't know. Check my Instagram for any shows coming up. Omicron pending.
Yeah. Jay, where can people
You're not
find
gonna tell
you?
about your Poshmark, Griffin?
I get very bad reviews on Poshmark.
He's focused
and,
on his
they've actually
OnlyFans.
kicked me off of it. Yeah,
Yeah.
Come on, step your game up, bruh.
I know. Shit.
I get 5-star reviews at Salvation Army, which is where I take my stuff. I got a receipt right over here. They're like, what box do I put this in? And I'm like, miscellaneous.
There's actually, I might be a seller of shoes, women's shoes, sometime in the near future. I bought my wife a pair of running shoes for Christmas, and I got her. Somewhere in like the changing of tabs and shit, I went from like her size shoe to size 5, which was like a very tiny shoe. At least like she's a tall woman, it's small for her. And so now I have like this pair of 5 shoes, running shoes, that they sent to me. And I want to return them, but they came from Spain, and they said that I have to pay the postage back.
Oh man.
So it's like, how much is that gonna cost? So I'm thinking of just selling this pair of shoes. Like selling a pair of women's 5 running shoes, but I don't know where to do it. I guess Poshmark.
Why don't you consign it to Pia?
Yeah, there we go.
Do it on consignment.
Or you could, if you really want to do that, I could tell you about some places where you could physically walk in and sell them that would be less effort, you know?
Oh, really? Yeah, see, that might be better because it's just like, how much does it cost to send something to Spain? Even sending a pair of shoes to like Sacramento would probably be, I don't know.
Yeah,
Anyways, sorry.
yeah. I'll walk
That's
you
an, okay.
I'll walk you through it.
This was meant to be. This
Yeah.
podcast was meant to
Okay.
be.
The stars always align on laying down the law.
Yeah.
We always find things that we didn't know existed and explore them. Jay, where can people find you?
People can find me at online. You can send me an email, because that's 2022, at jpreet, JAYPREET, at fastagent.com. I am a real estate agent in the state of California with Team Fast. Broken by EXP, we sold over $650 million worth of real estate in 2021. One of the biggest teams anywhere. I work all over the Bay Area, from Santa Cruz up to Oakland, Berkeley. I'm selling. I'm helping you sell, helping you buy, helping you invest, anything you need. I'm also on the IG Instagram at go_jpreet, JAYPREET. Look me up there. Also, probably more exciting than my Poshmark, which is private. Hit me up. I got a phone number. I'm going to throw it out there, 408-805-5291. For those in Ukraine, you may have to dial a country code. That's 408-805-5291. I am happy to help you with any of your real estate needs. Call me, text me, hit me up, send me shoes.
Or just to chat, right, Jay? Isn't it just an open line for chatting too?
Yeah, totally. I mean, I got a ton of I don't have my screen shareable, but I have a lot of Wikipedia pages and tabs open. A general interest kind of guy. So hit me up.
Sometimes
Call to talk about
people
real
just
estate.
call Jay and be like, Jay, I'm just feeling a little down. Can you just do the function on Wikipedia where it's just a random page? Just let me know where we land.
Yeah.
Like
Tell me about
chat
the
roulette.
Russian war.
Yeah, chat roulette for Wikipedia enthusiasts / real estate.
All right. Well, I always like to end with a public service announcement. And this week, I'd like to highlight the work of Bet Tzedek, which is Hebrew for the House of Justice here in Los Angeles. There are hundreds of thousands of Angelinos here who cannot afford housing, food, or medicine, let alone an attorney. And even though free legal aid helps ensure access to justice and basic necessities for the most vulnerable among us, there's not enough legal aid available. So for every legal aid attorney in California, there are more than 8,000 eligible clients who need assistance. Betzedek is that nonprofit law firm that's committed to addressing this challenge. Betzedek provides free, comprehensive legal assistance and representation, volunteer and court-based self-help services, and legal education to more than 90,000 people every year. Betzedek's services keep families in their homes, secure care for those with physical, developmental, or intellectual disabilities, protect seniors from abuse and real estate fraud, ensure access to safe housing and legal wages, and obtain guardianships for children to stay in safe, stable homes. The Betzedek attorneys and advocates help people of all communities and in generations secure life's necessities. Wherever people are in crisis, Betzedek's core services and rapid response programs provide stability and hope. You can learn more about Betzedek at www.betzedek.org or call 323-939-0506. Support Betzedek today. Get involved. And if you need legal help and you qualify, reach out. They've got people there to help you. I'm your host, Billy DeClercq. Thanks to our guests, Pia, Jeremy, and Jay, and goodbye.